Hello, my name is Alphabet, and welcome to my reading recap. Big spoiler warning now. If you hear a title that you don't want spoiled, then please skip ahead or click away. Any trigger warnings I can think of, I'll list in the description below. Number 1, It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han. I gave 3.5 out of 5. The sequel to The Summer I Turned Pretty, which was featured in my last reading recap. I guess Belly and Conrad did see each other over the winter holiday, and they talked a lot on the phone, and things seemed good for a while. She invites him to prom, and he has a bad attitude about it, but caves. During, she asks him if his mom made him take her, and she tries to beat him to the punch and breaks up with him. To be fair, he was being an ass, and I don't feel like it was explained unless I missed something other than them not being compatible at all. The boy's mom passes away in May, and it was her cabin they went to every year, so no one plans on going anymore. At the funeral, Belly walks in on Conrad and his girlfriend cuddling, and she freaks out and tells him to go to hell. Very nice. On this, the day of your mother's funeral, how dare you cuddle with someone else? Once summer hits, Conrad goes missing, and Jeremiah ropes Belly in to help track him down. They quickly realize he's at the beach house, so they head there too. The whole time, Belly is lying to her mom, saying that she's at her friend Taylor's house. I'd get away with that for one night sometimes, but she pulls it off for a full-on road trip to a beach house, and they all get drunk, and she drunkenly calls her mom, who shows up in the middle of the night. Turns out Conrad was there for some kind of protest because his dad is trying to sell the place, but he obviously doesn't want him to. Even though Belly's mom is pissed, she still stands up for them against the dad and says he shouldn't sell. She was appointed head of the estate, by the way. At some point, Jeremiah is all, "Why do you like my bitch-ass brother and not me?" And then he and Belly kiss, and Conrad walks in on it. Sometimes I miss being a teenager, but things like this remind me that teenagers are fickle, and I would hate doing that again. And that's pretty much it for this one. It can be annoying at times, but this series feels nostalgic for me, even though this is my first read-through, so that gives it extra points for me. Number 2, A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley. I gave 1.5 out of 5. I kept losing interest in this and skipping parts, so my recollection of it isn't great. I knew it was technically book 2 of the Glitter Falls series, but the character names in the synopsis I read were different, so I didn't think it would matter reading it out of order. But I was immediately confused, so maybe it does matter. Calidia is a witch, and Astereth is a demon. They're arch-nemesis, but he gets amnesia, and she takes him on a journey trying to get his memories back. They bicker a bit and flirt a lot. He actually seems kind of nice, other than a bit too many sexual fantasies in his head for my taste. They find out he's actually half human, and someone stole his immortality, who ironically is who they go asking for it back without realizing it. The two fall in love, because of course they do. I liked parts of it, when she talks about her ex and he's all, "Let me kill him." And random tidbits of him are funny, but there's way too much sex, and I don't want to read about swollen clitorises. I kept skipping forward through those because they were so graphic. Then the end suddenly got really political. It had a bit of potential. I hear the first one is way better, so I may still try that. I'm just hoping it's not more porn. Anyone know any good romance authors for adults that aren't pornographic? Let me know, please. There's a reason I mostly stuck to YA for so long. Number 3, Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. I gave 2 out of 5. I've been wanting to read this for a long while, and like the true procrastinator I am, I waited until just before the movie came out. My interest was waving in and out, which seems to be a trend on these lately, so I'm trying to read a synopsis to compare it to my memories, and I'm already confused. I will say, if you're looking for a lighthearted family Wizard of Oz story, this is not the book for you. There's mention of rape, animal slaughter, sex scenes, and desires. It's rather jarring when expecting something more nice. Elphaba rooms with Glinda at university. There's weird political issues, so the pair go to Oz to meet the wizard. The wizard denies them, and Elphaba decides to do it herself. I can't recall what she was doing for the life of me. I just remember the wizard not doing it, and her doing it, and mentions of terrorism. Later, they see Dorothy's house land, and terrorist groups try claiming the act. This is so bizarre. Glinda is a bit ditzy and gives the precious emerald slippers to Dorothy, which pisses off Elphaba. The wizard tells Dorothy to kill Elphaba, and she doesn't want to, so she apologizes to her instead. Elphaba accidentally sets on fire, and Dorothy throws water on her trying to help, but accidentally melts her. I'm probably missing a lot, but that's what I gathered from my very confused state of wondering why a Wizard of Oz book was mentioning boners. Number 4, Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I gave 1.5 out of 5. I guess this one is a sequel too. I'm reading everything out of order, but this one, it doesn't seem to matter at all, and with the last one, it was pretty bad anyway. Oh well. Russ and Aurora are college students who hook up one night at a party after playing Truth or Dare and her giving him a lap dance. After sex, he's in the bathroom for a long time, and she thinks that's her hint to leave, so she leaves and just doesn't talk to him again. Their communication is horrible throughout the entire book, mostly due to her assumptions. One aspect that I do like in this is that she admits to having casual sex just to feel wanted and does what she can to make it feel more casual to beat the guys to the punch so she won't get embarrassed. And I wish a lot more people would admit to doing that. What I don't like is that she does it anyway. I just feel so sad for her. You don't need sex to feel wanted. It turns out Russ was only in the bathroom to hype himself up to ask her on a date. You guys are doing things a little bit backwards. This book is written with a dual perspective, so we know right away, which takes all the mystery out. We don't have her assumptions with a reveal later. We find out she's stupid immediately. They both show up to work at a summer camp later and are awkwardly avoiding each other until they finally talk and realize it was a misunderstanding. Then they hook up more. She answers his phone one day, and while taking a message, finds out from his brother that their dad is an addict, and Russ uncharacteristically tells her to get out. She comes back, though, and says she's riding back to school with him so they can talk about it and be together, and he's all, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry." This book was very stupid, but entertaining enough that it didn't feel like it drug on, but I did also listen to it at 2 times speed. It flashes forward 9 years, and they're married with a bunch of pets, and Aurora is opening a bookstore. The couple doesn't really have chemistry, which makes it hard for me to enjoy. They fuck nearly every encounter, but that's it. That's not really personal at all. They talk about their daddy issues, but again, it doesn't feel personal. It feels like, I'll listen to you so you'll listen to me, rather than an actual conversation. They feel more in lust than in love, which I'm definitely not a fan of. I miss when the Target book section was New York Times bestsellers, and there were books of substance instead of TikTok sensations that they have now. TikTok seems to be way too horny for me. Number 5, We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. I gave 2 out of 5. The third and final installment of the summer series. Belly and Jeremiah are together and at a college party. Why am I stuck in the same themes lately? At a party, she overhears that Jeremiah had sex with another girl when they were broken up for 2 seconds. Funnily enough, their breakup was caused by "oh, you don't trust me to go on a guy's trip to Cabo without you?" fight. And guess where he fucked someone else? That trip. Someone that's in his fraternity's sister's sorority. The one that will be around all the time. Belly takes some space, but then tells Jeremiah they can talk. She's disgusted when she sees him and cries, and he pulls out a ring and proposes. Disgusting. I hate this book. They rush and plan for a really soon summer wedding. A couple of days before the wedding, Conrad tells her that he loves her and to choose him instead. He says he only pulled away before because he was so broken from his mom's passing that he couldn't love her well enough. Bullshit. She tells Jeremiah, who runs off the night before the wedding. Conrad finds him and Jeremiah punches him. Their mom had wrote him a letter, but it was actually for Conrad and mentioned how Belly was the only girl she got to see him love, and the letter was accidentally given to Jeremiah. These boys hated her until she grew boobs. What the fuck? Jeremiah shows up ready for the wedding, and Belly tells him that she'll always love Conrad a little bit, but she's choosing him. He says that's not enough, and the wedding is called off. She ends up studying abroad, and Conrad sends her handwritten letters monthly. Eventually she responds, and it flashes forward to their wedding instead, where she blows a kiss at Jeremiah, who's sitting in the audience with his date. Girl, stop it. So I guess she marries Conrad. She should have married neither. They both treated her poorly. We should get a book called Summer Sucks, where she goes on a ski trip and marries a snow bunny. Number 6, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I gave 2.5 out of 5. Lara Jean has an older sister, Margot, and her younger sister, Kitty. Margot just broke up with her boyfriend, Josh, and moved to Europe. Josh and Lara were each other's first crushes, but didn't know it. After finishing her crushes, Lara would write goodbye letters to each boy and keep them in a hat box. One day, the letters all get sent out, and she gets asked about it. It's weird because each guy seems to know the letter isn't recent. If I got a letter like that in high school, I'd assume it was current. Am I the only one here? At the end, it's revealed that her little sister sent them out, and it's supposed to be this big surprise, but duh, who else would it have been? Josh is the girl's neighbor and still trying to hang around now that Margot's gone. Peter is one of the letter recipients, and he's recently broke up with his girlfriend. Lara, she strictly goes by Lara Jean in this, but I'm just gonna call her Lara. She and Peter make a deal to pretend to date to make it clear nothing will happen with Josh and to make Peter's ex jealous and to understand that they're not going to get back together. Like ever. Josh tells Lara he doesn't like them together and asks why she didn't tell him she liked him before to give him a proper chance, and then he kisses her. She likes it but also gets mad about it. The fake couple fall in love because of course they do. Well, sort of. They go on a school trip and Peter tells Lara it's funny that he actually likes her now, and she's like, huh? But then tells him she likes him too, and they kiss, but a rumor goes around that they had sex, and he doesn't immediately or strongly stick up for her, so she gets upset, rightfully so, and they don't talk for a bit. Margot visits for Christmas and throws a party with Peter and Josh. Peter shows up, surprising Lara, who confronts him about the rumor, and Josh steps in all, how dare you? She'd never fuck you. And Peter's all, you're a little bitch who kissed my girl. I may be paraphrasing here. Margot overhears and gets all upset. The girls talk about it, and Laura's all, I liked him first, and one day you said you were dating him, so I stepped back, but now you're not. And Margot's all, you're so spoiled. I've taken care of you since Mom died, and this is how you repay me? Kitty opens up now that it was her who sent out the letters. She returns the hat box, which now is full of the letters Peter wrote to Lara while they were fake dating, that Lara had tried throwing out, but Kitty found and stashed them. The letters were just to piss off his ex, and she wanted to get love letters. Lara didn't read them until now, but they got softer and softer as time went on, and she feels love from them now, so she sits down to write him a love letter herself, and the book just ends. Jenny Han has a thing for sibling love triangles and stolen first kisses. In here, Laura's first kiss was stolen too. Depressing trope to have in all your books. I really like the dad character. He seems really sweet and is genuinely trying to raise his girls after losing his wife. Even making Korean some nights to keep that part of them alive. I kind of like Josh, but the sister hopping is gross. If he originally liked Lara too, he should have just told her so, or at the very least, not dated her sister instead. Peter just sounds like a fuckboy, and a skilled one too, because he's playing the whole family. It's okay, I was entertained enough. I'll finish the series, but I do not recommend the audiobook. The narrator puts on the cringiest voices. It was not a fun time. Number 7, P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I gave 2.5 out of 5. The sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before. This starts on New Year's Day with Lara Jean going to give Peter his love letter. She panics and changes her mind, but he grabs it anyway and they kiss and make up, deciding to date for real. The whole book, he's being super annoying and way too close to his ex, Genevieve, who's obviously manipulating him. He even says that he's aware of that, but still chooses to be there for her, and you end up finding out it's because her dad is dating someone close to her age. Like, yeah, okay, that's really shitty, but you have a ton of friends. You could talk to any of them, but instead you're talking to your ex that you dumped for another guy and that's trying to move on now and has found someone else. She's horrible to Lara Jean the whole time too, and Peter just lets her be horrible. The hot tub video is spreading around, and he says he's gonna kill whoever took the video, but then finds out it was Genevieve and keeps hanging out with her and choosing her over Lara Jean constantly. This guy is such an asshole. Meanwhile, Lara Jean hears back from another guy she wrote a letter to, John Ambrose McLaren, whose entire name she is constantly saying. She's also besties with another letter recipient who's gay and in the closet. Her and John start writing back and forth and then start hanging out a lot. His grandmother lives at a home where she volunteers at. One night, there's a snowstorm, and the grandma convinces them both to stay the night. They do, and sneak out to play in the snow. They also go to an old-timey party. Lara Jean and Peter break up briefly, and she and John kiss. She and John seem so good together, but she chooses to stay with / get back together with Peter, who tells her he loves her. He's such a prick, too. He gives her a beautiful necklace she's been eyeing for Valentine's Day, and when they break up, he takes it back from her, like the little bitch that he is. Then, when things are getting good with John, Peter comes busting in all, "Here's your necklace, it was always yours, be mine again." I hate this guy. I'm concerned with Jenny Han. She puts terrible couples together and calls it romance. Number 8, Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. I gave 2.5 out of 5. The finale to the All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. Peter and Lara Jean are dating. College is the big dilemma here. They bank on going to the same college, but he gets in and she doesn't. She gets into a school an hour or 2 away, and they adjust their plans for her to go there a year and then transfer. Later, she gets accepted to a school a couple hours further away that she's really excited about, so they plan on still doing long distance, but he considers switching to her school instead. This consideration makes his mother go behind his back and basically tell Lara Jean to break up with him. She gets drunk for the first time and does that, and then pukes as he walks away, and her dad walks out seeing that. The next day, they're all, "Let's try long distance, fuck what my mom says." This book is okay. When she first gets in, her friend takes her on an impromptu road trip to visit the campus, and they meet potential classmates, check out around the school, and go to a show. And I love these kinds of stories. Unfortunately, most of the book is more like, long distance is the death of relationships. Long distance isn't for everyone, but it saddens me that media almost entirely portrays it as the death of love. If you're doing it with the right person for the right reason, it can work, and I wish they didn't put so much negativity on it. They end up choosing to try, and I respect that. I just wish the whole book wasn't talking trash on the idea. I still don't like the couple either. I feel like they never talk. They tell each other things after the fact, sometimes days after. I guess I'm just a lot different in my relationships, but with how little they seem to do together anyway, it seems obvious that long distance would be fine. Number 9, Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I gave 0.5 out of 5. Gah! I was so disappointed with this one. Target being taken over by TikTok is ruining my book recommendations. I am not on TikTok for a reason. I do not want to be pushed all of the books that they're recommending. My tastes do not belong there, and their tastes clearly do not belong on my shelf. I saw this was a romance about chess, and I thought it would be a cutesy, soft version of The Queen's Gambit. But nope. A girl hates this chess prodigy. She beats him and gets offered a job to study chess and keep beating him. She has really awkward transactional sex that kills my soul. She thinks about how she hates this guy and then makes out with him. I do not understand the whole enemies to lovers and I tease you because I love you thing. We aren't 5. Can we stop that? Hating isn't cute. Bullying isn't cute. This book isn't cute. And TikTok taking over Target sure as hell isn't cute. I do not recommend this. And number 10, Island of Silence by Lisa McMahon. I gave 1.5 out of 5. The second book of the Unwanted series. I was not absorbed in it at all the first half of the book. I don't know what it is about this series, but it cannot hold my attention at all. Someone was practicing curses on a dog, so for that alone, I hate it. I guess the brothers, Alex and Aaron, are feuding. Aaron killed Alex's teacher, Mr. Tomorrow, who leaves a mystery spell for Alex. That's pretty much all I gathered from this one. That's all for now. Happy reading!